I smooth the wrinkles out of my navy dress as I walk the familiar brick path to my parents' home. The garden lights glow softly, the same ones Dad wired years ago. And for a moment it feels like nothing has changed since I moved out 3 months ago. Sunday dinners are still tradition, though lately they've become less about family and more about performance. Mom fussing over perfect plating, Dad with his glass of wine, Melody stealing the spotlight before I've even taken off my coat. Still, I come because a piece of me still lives here. Grandma Wilson's piano gleams in the corner of the living room, its mahogany polished, ivory keys glowing in the late summer dusk. My inheritance, my anchor. Felicity, you're late, Mom says as soon as she opens the door. Her voice is sharp, but she leans in to kiss my cheek like always. Inside, the table is already set. Candles lit, a bottle of champagne chilling in an ice bucket. Though it isn't anyone's birthday, Melody is at the head of the table. Her laugh too loud, phone flashing in her hand, but then I see him, a stranger in a crisp gray suit, standing by the piano. Clipboard in one hand, measuring tape in the other, his fingers trail across the polished wood, tapping lightly on the lid as if testing its strength. I freeze in the doorway. Who is that? Dad doesn't look up from pouring wine. Oh, that's Mr. Grant. He's just having a look at the piano. The words slide past me at first, but the second meaning lands heavy. Having a look at the piano, for what? I manage. Before Dad can answer, Melody flips her hair and grins like she's been waiting for this moment. Don't make that face, Felicity, it's not like you ever play it anymore. Dad's selling it so I can finally do my Europe trip. Paris, Rome, Barcelona, can you imagine? The room tilts, my breath sticks in my throat. Selling it? My voice cracks. That's not possible. That piano is just a piece of furniture. Mom cuts in, smoothing her napkin across her lap. Your sister has an incredible opportunity and flights aren't cheap. We all have to make sacrifices for family. I glance at the piano, my piano, the one Grandma gave me, with a trembling smile, whispering, keep the music alive. Felicity, it's yours now. It isn't furniture, it's memory. It's identity. I don't agree to this, I say, stronger this time. Dad finally looks up, his expression unreadable. It's not about agreeing, it's about doing what's right for Melody. Sometimes we have to think beyond ourselves. The stranger. Mr. Grant jots something on his clipboard and nods toward Dad. A deal is already in motion. And in that moment, standing in the doorway with candlelight flickering against crystal glasses, I realize something chilling. This dinner isn't about family. It's an ambush. The dinner drags on, every bite of roast chicken tasting like dust in my mouth. Melody chatters about which cafes in Paris are Instagrammable, while Mom nods as if she's already booking her tickets. Dad keeps refilling glasses, his smile too polished, too rehearsed, but all I can hear is the silence of the piano behind me. It's lit closed as if in mourning after dessert. When conversation swells and laughter covers my movements, I slip quietly out of the dining room, my feet know the way to Dad's study down the hall, second door on the left. The door creaks. Inside, the desk lamp is still on, his laptop glows, screensaver not yet locked. I shouldn't look. I know this, but something inside me whispers, if you don't fight, they'll erase you. I move closer. Emails fill the inbox, the subject lines like knives. Subject, appraisal details, Wilson piano. Subject, payment schedule, Melody Stevenson travel fund. Subject, pickup confirmation, Friday 3 p.m. I click one, open. My stomach turns. Mert Grant's message, confirming agreed price, pickup scheduled. Funds will be transferred upon receipt. Thank you for facilitating such a smooth process. Dad's reply, appreciate your discretion. My daughter won't be an issue. The words burn into me. My daughter won't be an issue. I sink into the desk chair, shaking. They hadn't just thought about this tonight. They'd planned it for weeks, behind my back, behind my voice. The piano wasn't theirs to sell. It wasn't anyone's but mine. My hand drifts to the memory. Grandma's wrinkled fingers pressing a folded letter into mine the night she passed the piano down. I'd tucked it into the bench for safekeeping, too young to realize one day I'd need it as armor. Tears sting my eyes, but rage steadies me. I hear footsteps in the hall and snap the laptop shut. Wiping my face quickly, I open a random drawer to mask my presence. Mom appears in the doorway, eyebrows arched. What are you doing in here? Just looking for extra napkins, I lie. Her eyes narrow, but she doesn't press. Instead, she steps inside, her tone clipped. I know this is hard for you, but your sister's opportunity, it matters. You can't hold onto the past forever. It's not the past, I whisper. It's mine. Her lips press into a thin line. Selfishness doesn't suit you, Felicity. You've always been the quiet one. Don't ruin that now. She leaves before I can answer, the words echoing like a slap. I stay in the study a moment longer, hand clenched over my chest. Quiet one, selfish, not an issue. But as I step back into the hall, I know they've underestimated me for the first time. I don't want to be quiet. By the time I return to the dining room, the plates have been cleared, and Melody is sprawled across her chair like a queen awaiting tribute. Her phone plays a tinny French pop song as she hums along, already imagining herself strolling down the Champs-Élysées. Dad glances at me, his expression firm, almost rehearsed. "We need to talk about this piano business, Felicity." I stay standing, arms crossed. My heart is hammering, but I steady my voice. "You mean the piano you've already sold?" Behind my back, the table stills, Mom's fork clinks against her plate. Melody smirks, satisfied that the scene has arrived. Dad clears his throat. "You're making this bigger than it is. It's not betrayal, it's practicality. That instrument is just sitting here gathering dust, while my sister gets a trip to Europe." I cut in, "at the cost of the only thing Grandma left me." Mom exhales sharply, as though I've said something absurd. "Don't dramatize, Felicity. You were never going to make a career out of piano. We've always known that, but Melody's chance, it's real. This trip will expand her horizons. Give her opportunities you never wanted." Her words slice deep, but I refuse to flinch. "Not wanted?" My voice rises. "I wanted music. I wanted that piano. You just never listened." Melody leans forward, eyes glittering. "Oh, come on. Don't make this about you. You barely play. It's selfish to cling to it when it could do something useful for once." Selfish, that word. Again. My chest tightens. Dad sets down his glass, his voice low, commanding. "Enough, this is family. Sometimes family means sacrifice. You don't get to derail your sister's future because you're sentimental for a second." The room blurs. Their voices merge into one chorus of dismissal. Selfish, dramatic, sentimental. Gaslighting. Always gaslighting. My hands tremble under the table, but I curl them into fists. If I stay silent, they'll take everything. And then, like a rope thrown in stormy waters, Uncle James speaks. He's been quiet all evening, sipping his wine, observing. Now, his voice cuts through the tension. "Hold on." He sets his glass down, eyes steady on Dad. "I was there the night Mom gave that piano to Felicity. I saw it with my own eyes. She didn't hand it to the family. She handed it to her." The air shifts. Dad's jaw tightens, but he doesn't answer. Mom looks away, pretending to fuss with her napkin. Melody scoffs, but the smirk falters. Uncle James leans toward me, his voice softer. "Just for me, don't let them rewrite the story, kid. That piano's yours. She wanted you to fight for it." Something hot and fierce sparks in my chest. For years I let their voices drown out mine. But tonight, as Uncle James's words settle into me, I feel the first tremor of change. I won't be erased, not this time. The next morning, I return to my parents' house before anyone is awake. The air is heavy with dew. The garden quiet except for the drip of the hose Dad forgot to shut off. I let myself in with the old key still on my ring, my footsteps soft against the carpet. The piano waits in the corner, its polished lid catching the early light. For a moment, I just stand there, hand pressed to the wood, remembering Grandma's voice. "Keep the music alive, Felicity. It's yours now." I kneel at the bench and lift the seat. Inside, nestled between yellowed sheet music and brittle programs, is what I hoped to find: a small envelope, the paper softened with age. My name is written on the front in Grandma's looping script. I pull it out with trembling hands and unfold the letter. "To my granddaughter Felicity, this piano belongs to you, not because of inheritance, not because of value, but because it sings under your hands. May it remind you of who you are when the world tries to make you forget." Tears blur the ink, but relief steadies me. Proof, not just memory evidence. I slide the letter back into the envelope and tuck it carefully into my bag. The sound of footsteps upstairs jolts me. I close the bench quickly and retreat before anyone can catch me. That evening, the house hums with forced celebration. Mom polishes the silver. Dad chills another bottle of champagne. Melody twirls in a new sundress, already practicing her French. "Bonjour, merci, au revoir." I sit at the table, my bag heavy at my side, Grandma's letter burning like a secret weapon. "Don't look so grim." Mom chides as she sets down a platter. "This is a happy time. Your sister is about to see the world at the cost of mine." I mutter. Dad shoots me a warning glance. "Enough, this isn't about you." Melody leans forward, lips curling. "Why can't you just be supportive? For once, you've had your time with that old piano. It's my turn to get something. My turn to get something." The words clang in my head like sour notes. I almost answer, but Uncle James interrupts, his tone dry. "Funny how sacrifice always seems to go one way in this house." Mom stiffens. Dad glares at him, but James doesn't back down. He meets my eyes across the table, and for the first time I don't feel completely alone. I force myself to stay quiet, to wait, because the storm is coming, and when it breaks, I'll be ready. Later, while they toast Melody's new chapter, I glance at the piano again. Its lid is closed, but I can almost hear the music pressing against the silence, aching to be released, and I know, when the time comes, I'll let it speak for me. The letter lies on the table like a live wire, daring anyone to touch it. Dad's fork clatters against his plate. This is absurd, he snaps, his face flushing red. One performance doesn't change the fact that we made a family decision. No, I counter. Steady and calm, you made a decision, without me, without rights you don't have. Mom leans forward, her fingers laced tightly as if holding herself together. Sweetheart, you've misunderstood. Grandma would have wanted. Grandma wrote it down. I interrupt, my voice rising. She wanted me to have her piano, she trusted me with it. You don't get to rewrite her words. Melody slams her glass down. You've always been jealous, always making it about you. You think playing a few sad songs makes you an artist? This competition is my chance to shine, and you're destroying it. Her words slice. But the old wound doesn't bleed this time. I sit straighter, looking her dead in the eye. I practiced 5 hours a day while you skipped lessons. I sacrificed weekends, vacations, friendships. Grandma saw that. She gave me the piano because I earned it. You want a shortcut, I want respect. The movers shift uncomfortably near the doorway. Mr. Graves clears his throat, closing his portfolio. I won't proceed without clear ownership. That much is non-negotiable. Dad rounds on him. You've already agreed, and I've reconsidered. Graves replies smoothly. I don't risk lawsuits. Not for $15,000. He gestures to the movers and they step back, waiting. The room fractures. Mom pleads, her voice trembling now. Don't do this, Felicity. Think of your sister's future. Think of what's best for the family. I push back my chair, standing tall though my legs shake. I am thinking of the family for once. I'm thinking of myself too, and I won't let you erase me. Silence. Then Uncle James sets down his glass with deliberate weight. She's right, he says evenly. Mother left that piano to Felicity. I remember when she wrote that letter, said the instrument belonged with the one who loved it most. Dad glares at him. Stay out of this. Family matters are everyone's business, James replies, his calmness cutting sharper than anger. And I won't stand by while you rob your daughter of her inheritance. The words hang heavy. For the first time, I see uncertainty flicker across Dad's face. Mom's eyes dart between us, her forehead crumbling. Melody folds her arms, fuming. But her voice has lost its bite. I gather the documents into my bag, tucking Grandma's letter safely inside. This discussion is over, I say, steady as a verdict. The piano stays with me. I leave them at the table, their celebration soured into silence. The movers file out behind me, carrying nothing. In the living room, I trail my hand across the piano's polished lid, claiming it openly in the space where they tried to erase me. This isn't just survival anymore. It's victory. The house is quiet after the storm. No laughter, no clinking glasses, no shallow toast to Melody's future. Just silence, heavy and awkward, as if even the walls know something has broken. I sit at the piano, tracing the ivory keys without pressing them, feeling the faint grooves of decades under my fingertips. Grandma's piano, mine. Behind me, voices murmur. Dad paces near the table, muttering about disrespect and ungrateful children. Mom fusses with plates she doesn't need to clean, her movements jerky, brittle. Melody sulks in her chair, scrolling furiously on her phone, her dream of Paris unraveling one silent minute at a time. Uncle James lingers by the doorway, arms folded, a quiet sentinel. Finally, Dad turns, his voice booming to fill the void. This isn't finished. We'll talk again when you're calm, Felicity. Right now you're just emotional. I rise from the bench, clutching Grandma's letter tight in my hand. My voice doesn't waver. I'm not emotional, I'm clear. This piano isn't leaving this house unless I take it with me, and when I do, it will be on my terms, not yours. Mom's lips press thin. You'll regret this. Families survive because people sacrifice. I meet her eyes. Steady. Sacrifice isn't the same as surrender. I've done enough of that. The words hang in the air. For once, she doesn't reply. Melody slams her phone down, glaring at me. You've ruined everything. You think anyone's going to clap for you. You're pathetic, but there's no force behind it anymore. She sounds small, cornered. I don't even answer. Instead, I turn to Uncle James. Would you help me move it to my apartment? A smile spreads across his face, subtle but proud. I thought you'd never ask. It takes days to arrange, but the following week, the movers return, not for Melody's trip, but for me. This time, there's no resistance. Dad retreats to his study, Mom disappears upstairs, and Melody locks herself in her room. There's silence. Is surrender enough? When the piano is finally set against the wall of my small apartment, it transforms the space instantly. The mahogany gleams under the soft lamplight. It doesn't matter that my dining table is wobbly, or that my kitchen is cramped. The room feels alive, filled with a legacy that belongs to me. I sit at the bench, closing my eyes. My fingers fall into place almost instinctively, and I begin to play not Chopin this time. Not something loud or defiant. Just a simple lullaby Grandma taught me when I was 6, the melody warm and familiar. Wrapping around me like her embrace, the notes drift into the night, soft but unshakable. This isn't just about a piano anymore, it's about a promise to keep the music alive, to keep myself alive, no matter who tries to silence me. For the first time in years, I don't feel small, I feel whole, and the piano, at last, is home.